Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases.
Audible is the destination for thrilling audio entertainment with next listen recommendations to habituate every type of thriller listener.
The time is now more than ever to embrace the breathtaking, sinister, and shocking tales that have enthralled you, especially with brand new exclusive thrillers from best-selling authors who are guaranteed to keep you gripped.
So, Ronnie, I recently downloaded Squeeze Me by Carl Hyacin, mainly because it shows a martini glass with a snake tail wrapped around it. I mean, what else needs to be said? And I am very excited to listen to it later today.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500. Do you struggle trying to reach those corner lashes when applying mascara? L'Oreal Paris' new Panorama Mascara catches every lash for corner-to-corner volume.
Your sister has been using this, right?
She loves it. Yes, they sent me some, and I gave it to my sister and my nieces. And actually, I looked at, I saw my niece the other day and was like, your eyelashes, is that the new mascara? She's like, yes, look at them. They were like fanned out. I mean, this is a great product.
You can buy Panorama Mascara on Amazon today.
Want to see life in panorama with fully fanned out lashes? Now you can with L'Oreal Paris Panorama Mascara that creates corner-to-corner panoramic lash volume.
Getting the smile and confidence you've been dreaming about, all from the comfort of your home, isn't a total mystery with Bite Clear Aligners. Just don't be surprised if all your friends start asking, what's your secret? Begin by ordering your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95. Bite Clear Aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer flexible financing, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Watch What Crappens. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben. Hello, Banoons.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. Just excited to hear another day of Kyle here on Summer House Recap. Everybody, join us next week for our Patreon coverage of Vanderpump Villa. That's Patreon's also where you will find links to our videos here, which we're on today, Crappens on Demand. Also our bonus episodes and ticket links to our website where you can get tickets for our May shows coming up. We've got Los Angeles at the start of May, and then we are going to London, Dublin, and Birmingham later on that month. And then we're going to just take a little European tour on, just go crazy over there. We're going for like 3 weeks. Yeah, we're going to have so much fun. We're so excited. We're going to recap the Taylor Swift concert on Patreon. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. So anyway, join us over there. Thanks for being here. And here we go, Ben. Some Summer House action, okay?
Summer House. Well, so where we left off was that Kyle and Amanda were making everything awkward at Paige's Italian dinner party because they don't like each other. And they're trapped in a loveless marriage. And she wants to move to the suburbs because she thinks that's going to fix everything, and he doesn't. And a big thing that, by big, I mean not big at all, but sort of funny to see. Something that happened over the past week, people mentioned it in comments to our show. We had some eagle-eyed viewers and then or listeners, and then there were other people on Reddit or whoever else. They sleuthed and discovered that the house that Kyle and Amanda looked at last week in the burbs, allegedly in New Jersey, was actually a house in the Hamptons. And clearly they shot the scene while they were out there with that weekend. They're like, let's go to an open house and make it look like this is you guys house hunting in New Jersey. Because remember, I was like, this house looks so nice. It just doesn't feel like New Jersey. This feels like somewhere else. And sure enough, they lied. production lied to us. It was a house in the Hamptons. So there you go, everyone. Controversy.
And they also, we were watching a screener, but they put up the price of the house. Apparently, it was $1.4 million because I was complaining, like, where is the price of this house? What the hell kind of ripoff is this? You know, which is kind of a danger of watching a screener. But I will say that's pretty good. I mean, I know that's expensive as hell, but for that huge lot,
It was a nice house.
and a pretty nice redone house, you know, have fun in your used home. Blink, 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 blink.
Maybe they should just buy a house in the Hamptons and then like they can live there all year round. And that way you're in the country and then people from the city come out and visit in the summer.
No, Kyle can barely think of going to Jersey. He's not going to be able to move 3 hours away or whatever the hell it is. And also, Amanda doesn't want to move to Jersey. She wants to move to mommy's. She wants to move right down the street from her parents' house to bitch about Kyle all day, which I know her parents have got to be excited. We've got to be like, wow, it was wonderful spending the past 5 years trying to get you not to marry this buffoon. And now having to hear about it every fucking day of our lives.
I think the sort of house, I think the perfect house for Amanda would be one that's down the block from her parents, has a cute kitchen, nice backyard, and comes with a divorce lawyer and no Kyle and their marriage is over. I think that's the perfect house for her. You know,
if I was an emoji right now, I would be 100 written in crayon and double underlined.
And if I were Paige DeSorbo, I would say 1,000%. 1,000.
So we open with Amanda talking about moving to the burbs. And Kyle's like, I'm just like concerned, you know, like I'm concerned about how disconnected I'm going to feel, you know, because like there's no more connected city than New York City. That's like the most connected. And Lindsay's like, as a man, you can get over that.
And it cuts to Carl, and Carl and his like shoulder hair are like, what? As a man, like, why would she even say that? Whoa, I'm not going to marry her anymore.
That's it. This is where it ends. This is where I say goodbye. This is where I say check, please. Oh, by the way, Lindsay, can you pay the check?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't believe you would even say that. Hey, babe, you look great. You look great, by the way. You look great. I still love you. I still love you. Can you believe that shoulder hair? Can you believe that she sat by shoulder?
And Lindsay's like, once you start having kids, your priorities start to change. Yeah, I can. Listen, I'm not a parent, but I remember my mother having kids because I was the kid. And I remember her priorities probably changing. She was like, I need to be out of this house more. Okay. I need to be at the country club drinking wine with my friends because this kid won't stop fucking screaming. So, bye.
Listen, it's, I understand that your priorities change when you have a kid, but like, how can your priorities change if you were never a priority in the first place, Amanda? So I think the point is that like we gotta move on. We gotta find
priorities
happiness from
might
other
change,
people.
but your tastes don't completely change. I mean, if you don't want to be stuck in a house with Amanda now, you're not going to want to be stuck in a house with Amanda and 10 children. Okay, it's not like children don't make it better. Okay, we just please.
Amanda has a valid complaint in that Kyle does not want to spend time with her. And Kyle has a valid complaint that Amanda doesn't seem to want to spend time with Kyle. And the point is this. It was a fun experiment. It was cool to see if this could work, if two people who don't really have anything in common except drinking and don't seem to ever love each other, but they like work together, what would happen if they got married? Cool. We saw what would happen. And now I think it's time to, move on to the next chapter for both of them.
Yeah, guys, you know what's, this is a lesson in settling, okay? Like,
yes,
you're settlers, okay?
Yeah.
Stop settling.
Let's you have time now. You can pull the kill cord before the kids come into the picture. Like, do it. Like, don't do what Jasmine and Silas did. Okay.
Yeah. So then Danielle's like, I mean, we can come to the Hamptons and come visit, which is so funny because that was the whole storyline last year is that Danielle moved to the Hamptons and then was completely disconnected to everybody to the point where she spun out and went fucking crazy. So
and they wanted her to visit. They wanted her to visit the city.
Yes. So Kyle's like, I mean, I just don't, because now he's put on the spot, right? It's at dinner and it's the typical, I want Kyle to do something for our family and Kyle won't do it, everybody. So now everybody's just staring at Kyle. And so Kyle's playing this victim thing, which he does so well through the whole episode, through the whole season, through the whole 10 years of the show, however long the show's been on. Kyle's just moping and eventually crying. And it's just getting sadder because his mullet's getting mulletier. Man, the whole situation is just getting worse. So he's like, I don't know what I want out of this whole thing. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. I know what I want out of this whole thing. A haircut.
At the very least, just that. So Lindsay's like, you don't even know if you want to have kids? Carl wants to have kids. Don't you want to have kids, Carl? Carl? Yeah, I totally want that. Yeah, I'm really excited. Me and my shoulder hair just want to have kids with you.
You have to have sex to have the kids. Well, I guess you don't, really. It's a modern world. Never mind. Yeah. I strike that from the record. So Kyle's like, for me to feel content, like, I want to feel like you and I are in a better communication place, Amanda, Otherwise, I'm going to feel very lonely. And she just rolls her eyes. She's like, Kyle.
It's great communication. Kyle and I have always been in agreement that, like, we want to raise a family in the suburbs. And by agreement, I said, I want to raise a family in the suburbs, Kyle. And he went, ugh. So that's agreement. And we both grew up with backyards and playing in the streets. And, like, that's one thing that we've always agreed on. We want our children to play in the highway.
And now he's backpedaling. Kyle, he's changing the script. What the fuck, Kyle? Your communication is great, by the way. You're communicating very clearly. You hate each other. Okay?
Yes. And you're pining for like a romanticized past for your children. It's not going to be that way. Your kids are not going to be playing out in the streets. They're going to be just like on their phones. That is why there's like literally a national campaign that's telling children, go outside. Go outside and play. You're allowed to play. Like, it's not the same anymore, Amanda. You're not going to get it. Stop chasing the dream. So
there's also national campaigns to be like, protect your children. There's someone going to kidnap them and put them in human trafficking on every corner. So it's like mixed messages at this point, I say keep them inside and keep them on the phone. Keep your kids safe. Keep them glued to a goddamn phone. Okay.
And there's also let's never forget, beware of strangers, which is also really good advice for when you want to marry someone, Amanda, because that's kind of what you did. Marry a stranger. You do not know each other.
You married a stranger.
Stranger danger. And that goes for like almost every couple on this show. So speaking of which, Paige is like, so any update on wedding planning? And Lindsay's like, So Kyle and Andrea have matching suits, and Jesse, stirring the pot, is like, so what does a flower boy even do? Well, what does a flower girl even do? Shut up.
She's like, you guys definitely need to be setting vibes, and that's what you're doing as flower people. And Carl's like, I'm going to need them to support some of the male side of things. Oh, that's what I need. Like flower boys who are like, don't marry her, bro. That's what I need.
Yeah, when I dump you, Linz, I just want to be like, it was the flower boy's fault. Well, not my fault. I'm just like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I said, put your weight on me with advice.
Yeah, they're basically part of the wedding. They're just part of the group. Like, not part of the group that Lindsay would like. I mean, not Lindsay. I don't want to throw Lindsay under the bus or anything.
And Sierra's like, are they going to have like a basket to throw out petals? That would be hilarious.
And Carl's like, you know what? Those are great questions. I'm going to wait for an abuser to answer that. No, you're going to answer that, Lindsay? You're going to just not emotionally take the chance to emotionally abuse me in public? Okay.
I haven't had the chance to come up with an answer for that. I haven't asked Lindsay yet, but she promised she'd give me an answer tomorrow at Barry's. So Carl's like, in a perfect world, if the decision were solely based on me, yes, Kyle would have been a groomsman, but he's willing to help out and willing to be part of it, and that's all I can ask for. Like, the decision's solely based on me. I'm sorry. Carl is just this. I just feel like this is so fucked up. I just think this is so rude of Carl, and he's being like, "Oh, it's not my choice. It's not my choice. It's your groomsman." Like, I understand if there's a situation where it's like, I don't want that person to be a groomsman because that person has like been wretched to me, or like, oh, we slept together once, it's awkward for me, something like that. But if it's just like, yeah, I don't really like Kyle that much. I don't know. I think Carl should be able to stand up for his friends.
Well, Kyle does not support their relationship, and he's done nothing but undermine their relationship for years.
So then Carl should say that.
He's still doing it right now. So I think if Lindsay did say, I don't want him in the wedding, she has every right to say that. And she
has a right to say it.
And Carl's full of shit, and if he really wants his friend there, then he should be like, yeah, that's my friend, and I want him in the wedding, and period. That's
Exactly.
it. But his whole like,
Oh man, I'm so abused. Like Lindsay doesn't want this. Lindsay doesn't want.
he's just coming on here and laying a foundation to dump Lindsay so he can get enough pity to get laid in bars. Okay, that's all these guys fucking want is for
Sober
fans to
bars.
fuck them and feel bad for them. So that's what he's going for.
Yeah.
I think it's so completely obvious. I can't believe anyone's falling for this pile of horse shit that he's laying out there. But I'll tell you, not everybody is, because have you ever seen a season where Paige likes Lindsay? Now, I don't know how long this is going to last. I think it's delightful because I think those two could rule the world being friends. You know, I understand that Lindsay's completely crazy and has come for Paige in the past and vice versa. But I kind of like them together. And I think they could rule this show. I mean, they already kind of do,
I think
honestly.
they do. I think that TLDR is that, like, if, like, Carl should just stand behind why he's demoted Kyle or put Kyle in sort of like this weird position rather than just saying, oh, it's because of Lindsay. Okay. Like you said, Lindsay has a right to say, like, I don't like that. You shouldn't put him in there. And he can say, like, you know what, out of respect for you, I won't. And then he should come on here and say, you know what, I didn't like the way that that Kyle wasn't supporting us. And that's like enough for me to. I just felt like it was just weak the way Carl presented it.
Totally
So Kyle-
weak. That's what Carl is. He's fucking weak. And he thinks it makes him strong to be victimized. He thinks it's like, oh, look how victimized I am by Lindsay, everybody. Look, everybody. It doesn't make you strong to be a fucking victim, dude. Like, my God, stand up for yourself.
So Andrea's like, I want to do a toast to Paige for organizing this Italian dinner. Paige, little girl. Paige, where's Lexi? Paige is like, thank you. Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much for coming to dinner. Like, my dinner, I like really loved it. Like, I did kind of the best dinner that we've ever done. So we probably don't even have to do these anymore because it's kind of just like peaked and everything will just be chasing this experience, which we'll never be able to recapture, mainly because I curated the entire thing and organized it. Thank you, everyone, so much.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad I got the chance to cater more misery. This was really fun. It's like dinner theater. It's tragedy nobody wants to hear sung. So thanks. It's great.
Everyone, make a wish. We're going to blow out the candles. Make a wish. And Carl's like, my wish is Amanda. Please be nice to me. Wow. That won't happen. Fairy tales do not come true.
Amanda hates you. Amanda's wish in her head was please die. That was her wish. So then Lindsay is joking with Kyle. She's like, Kyle, are you out of the doghouse? Are you in the doghouse? Where's the doghouse? Is the doghouse in the suburbs? And he's like, I need dog training. I need like dog training and stuff. Like, what would scare me to death is if I'm off on an island, aka suburbia, and I don't have someone to talk to. You know, I just feel like there's just times where I can't do it all.
God, an island of suburbia. And then Carl's like, hey, babe, you have a nice butt. Yeah, it's all yours if you want to tap it. Oh, you want to tap it?
Thank you.
No,
I do not.
Thanks. No thanks.
All right.
So now the girls are like, okay, the only way to top a great dinner, hang out on the bed. Meet you there. So they all go to the bed, and Paige is talking to Amanda, and she's like, so, Amanda, like, when you get home, are you ever like, dude, you said that on national television. I'm, like, mortified. And she's like, yeah, he's, like, delusional. He, like, slings mud, and then it's like, be nice to me. And the fact that he doesn't want to move to New Jersey, it's like, I don't know where I want to go. That's what he says. I was like, but it's going to be our children. Like, no offense, but, like, you're going to be the one who's working. It's like, oh, my God.
She's already complaining that he's working too much while she has children at home.
In New Jersey.
So Paige is like, well, walking, that weekend when the dogs were here, like, you're going to be 10 times better mom than every single person here. By the way, Sierra, no offense. That wasn't a dig at you. I was just complimenting Amanda. So, I mean, you're going to be a terrible mother. Like in your own way, though. And you're going to be a good mother in your own way.
Just look at your bed. Just look at your bed. If you want to improve in the category, start with the bed.
So Kyle is wrapping his head in tinfoil. And I guess does he dye his hair in this? So then Paige is FaceTiming Craig, and he's like, hey, chicken. Hey, chicken. We're lying in bed putting our faces together to see what the three of our kids would look like. And let me tell you, it's so amazing. It's really a pretty baby, but also it has a really nice bed that I don't think it ever gets out of. It has a flat back of its head. It's definitely a bed baby.
You know what's really funny? Like when you look at the baby, you can see that the eyes, which are mine, just like the baby's really good at making a dinner party. And then you can also see that like the baby's also really good at like walking dogs, which is like Amanda's part. But the baby has a terrible bed, which is Sierra's part. It's wild what AI can do.
We asked the AI what our baby's first words would be, and it was, Kyle.
Chicken.
It's crazy.
It was weird.
Chicken. Cow chicken.
Cow chicken.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Welding instructor Alex DeClaire knows firsthand how VR training platforms like ForgeFX can help meet the demand for skilled workers.
Anywhere you go look, there's going to be a shortage of welders.
VR training can help welding students learn the skills they need to begin and advance in their career.
The beauty of virtual reality is it simulates that exact muscle memory that they need.
Explore more stories like Alex's at meta.com/metaverseimpact.
So Lindsay's going to go to bed, and Carl's like, whoa, people are dropping like flies around here. And so everyone's going to bed, and Sierra's texting West, and he misses her, and they're just like being cute. And now it's the next day, and everyone's waking up, and Colin and Amanda are just like loveless in bed, not saying anything to each other, and just headed to divorce.
They do this thing that they always do on the show where they keep cutting to Kyle and Amanda as like the worst example. They'll be like, happy music, making coffee, someone's making coffee. Amanda's waking up. Paige is dancing in a room. Paige is dancing in a room. Kyle's grabbing his wiener and walking slowly to the bathroom while looking back.
That's the classic. Grabbing the wiener or walk to the bathroom. Mm-hmm.
I love Kyle's just constant grabbing of the wiener in the morning.
Yep.
No, still there. Still there.
Hey, everyone, now that we're awake and we're back in the kitchen, just want to say that there's going to be a beach volleyball game today. So Jess is a captain, I'm a captain, and my team is the Super Bros, and he's like the lifeguard. So pretty cool. Fun Carl's back, everyone. I think we can agree.
All right, Jess is going to be a captain. I'm going to be a captain because he's tall and I'm tall. So basically, it's like the only options we've got. Sorry, short people. And by sorry, short people, I mean, where are you? I can't even see you.
I love volleyball. It's like a great sport. Like it's like the best sport that like ever sported. And like I played in high school, and then I was like recruited to play in college, but instead I decided to go into academics, which is just code for I got kicked off the team probably. Yeah.
I was gonna say, how'd that work out for you?
I know. I'm excited to read your latest piece in the New England Journal of Medicine.
Really into academics, or life. I wrote a very striking essay in barstoolsports.com. So
here's Carl's website, the Radke Boys. It's first night.
It's the
Radke Boys,
because I'm like into wellness and advocacy now. I'm posing in a sweater, so I'm pretty serious about it.
Is this Carl Radke art glass? No, that's someone else.
No, it's further down. He needs to do some better. He needs to do some Google words searching.
Wait, so but it is kind of funny that there is a master glass artist named Carl Radke. Because so I've been glass blowing lately. So if anyone's interested in a vase, I can make that for you, everyone. It's sort of what I'm sober vases,
Yeah. I'm trying to see where his bio is. I was reading about it the other day because some of this is his brother, so I don't want to make fun of his brother, obviously.
Oh. It's right on the front page. It says about Carl Radke.
Okay. I see about Radke Boys. Let me go to radkeboys.com. Okay.
Yeah.
About Carl Radke. Carl Radke. Oh my God, it's Carl Radke. Oh my God, look who else it is. He's being interviewed.
Well, let's see what his current projects are for Loverboy.
Oh my God, from Pittsburgh to the spotlight, Carl Radke has made waves in entertainment, transitioning from modeling to a pivotal role in Summer House since 2017. Behind the camera, Carl's journey towards sobriety, which began on January 8th, 2021, resonates with many. He champions mental health, seamlessly weaving medication, therapy, and fitness into the fabric of his life. Candid about his battles, Carl seeks to inspire and shift the conversation around addiction and mental wellness, echoing influential voices in society, and those voices say one thing: more life. More life.
As a former academic, he connects quite a bit with Joan Didion and Joyce Carol Oates. And furthermore, he looks forward to finally reading a book about Thoreau.
Carl Radke is known for a standout role on Bravo's Summer House and his white jeans. And it's not just a reality TV star. He's an agent of change. So basically, whenever there's a change, Carl gets 15% of that change. So may not seem like a lot, but every time you get change, please put it in a jar and say, this goes to white pants over there. All right.
More change. More change.
More change.
So, wow. So now we go over to Jesse, and he's like, listen, I played in the Junior Olympics. I traveled my whole life. I played in high school. Captain. Yeah. And Carl's like, yeah, so our team kind of went to states. So, that's what I'm just saying. Hashtag states. And Jesse's like, yeah, we were sick. We made it to the quarterfinals. And that was the worst thing I'd ever been through in my very charmed life, losing boys volleyball quarterfinals.
I know. I believe it too. Jesse. It's like, that was the most painful thing ever, Losing boys volleyball in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Such douche vibes, this guy. And I really am kind of annoyed with the rest of the cast for not letting his douchiness shine, because I should hate his guts by now. I don't yet, but I'm reserving it. You know what I mean? Like, I've put my purse down at that table because I know it's coming. This guy's a fucking douchebag.
Your purse down
Just
at the
come
table.
out.
This is mine. We're eating here.
We're eating here. Listen, hate table. This hate table is taken, okay?
Next season. Listen, Jesse is having the free ride right now. Everyone loves Jesse Solomon. Everyone sees that he's a fuckboy, but everyone loves him. So he's having his good season now. Next year, it'll be a disaster.
Yeah. Well, I hope so, because I'm wrong on terrible people being terrible very rarely. And I cannot be wrong on this. I need you to be terrible.
I think the producers could have presented him as an awful person, but they have too much on their hands. Between Kyle and Amanda and Lindsay and Carl, these couples falling apart, the producers just need us to buy into some new people. Like if they give us, we've had some real duds. When it comes to casting men on the show, they've really struggled. We had Chris last season. We had the guy from season 2. We had Jordan for like 2 seasons. Like they have a hard time. So I think they just want us to love some men on the show because
get us
Carl and
reinvested.
Kyle, are having a bad season.
Yeah, and it's time to replace him. So they've got to find people that you still like to tune in next season when some of these people are put out to pasture. Probably, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So Kyle did not. They're getting dressed for this game, and Kyle didn't bring. I guess he has this like a lifeguard tank that I guess he normally wears. I think we've seen him in, and he didn't bring it this weekend. And Amanda's like, "Why didn't you bring that, Kyle?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Yes, you did." Or I guess he said, "I didn't know." You did know, Kyle. I'm like, really? You're gonna get mad about the lifeguard uniform now, Amanda?
Kyle's forgetting his props and costumes, which means he's really slipping, guys. I'm worried about Kyle. In music, I'm taking these music classes, and I learned what a sine wave is. Do you know what that is?
Sine wave, like in trigonometry? Yeah, like sine,
It's like-
cosine.
It's just this tiny measurement of sound.
Like Carl, I was in academics.
I didn't know what it was. I know that shocks everybody. But you begin with this just tiny little... And this is what it sounds like every time I hear it in the class. I'm like... Like that eventually became a Moog synthesizer. Okay, So
Okay, thank you for the lesson, Evangelist.
There you go, guys. It's called academics. That's academics.
Academics. I was in volleyball, but then I decided to take Moog Synthesizers 101, and now I'm on the 808 going nuts.
So Lindsay's like, babe, I made you a sandwich. And they're like, oh my God. Paige is like, oh my God, she is so in love with you if she made you a sandwich.
Yeah, that is a big deal. Lindsay and sandwiches. He's like, oh, I appreciate it. So Kyle is wearing Sierra's bathing suit because it's like a red top for him. And then she tears off his like shorts. And so he's just fully in like a women's bathing suit and revealing his super, super pasty thighs again. So he's just like lying down and everyone's blinded by them and stuff. And now it's time to play volleyball. So they play volleyball. Carl's team is really good because Carl gets really extra when he plays beach volleyball. I think we've seen this before. They even show flashbacks. He just is like spiking on everyone as if he is literally in the Olympics right now. And no one calls him out on it anymore. I think they're so used to it. So he just spikes and spikes and spikes and spikes, and they win.
Volleyball's a mean game.
It's hard.
It's rough. My niece played volleyball. It was very uncomfortable watching because I feel like it's like an acceptable form of dodgeball where people are acting like they're not dicks, but they're really just trying to hit each other in the head with a ball. That's all I see is people just trying to hurt each other with a ball. It's not like, oh, catch this ball, or I threw this ball further. It's like, I hit you in the head with the ball. It's not cool. You know, it's a passive aggressive game. Just fucking go box. Just beat the shit out of each other already.
It's really hard. I took intramural volleyball in high school, which was fun, but I sucked at it. And I remember one time when my first year that I was out here in LA, I was a production assistant on a sitcom, and one of the writers invited me to play volleyball, which is like volleyball, but you do it on like a squash court, basically, so you can bounce the ball off of the walls as well. So I was really excited because as a PA, it's such a special opportunity to be able to like do something like with writers, and you get to like know them a little bit more. Maybe like it could like, you know, like you could turn your PA job into a writer assistant job, and then maybe
also
you could
it's
be a
hilarious
writer.
Watching writers do sports. I mean, is there anything funnier?
So I just remember going to Marina Del Rey and playing volleyball, and I sucked. And there was a guy who was really aggro on my team, and like every time we like didn't get a point, he's like, "Come on!" Oh! And I was like the weakest link of the volleyball team, and I was like, "I'm never gonna work in Hollywood." And I was traumatized, and I haven't played volleyball since.
Oh,
or volleyball, but I mean, not really from trauma. It's just like. It's not like you can just go play volleyball. Not like I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go down the street and play volleyball. Like, you have to take some effort. And I was just like, it's just not worth the effort to go to the beach to play volleyball, especially when you suck at it and it can ruin your career.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm sure it's going to work out.
If I had been good at volleyball, I would have been on a different trajectory. I could have been writing for like the Frasier reboot by now.
If you'd been good at volleyball, my life would not exist as it does right now. So thank you for sucking at that game. I would like to thank God for giving Ben his very, very terrible skills at sports.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ronnie, you often talk about the phenomenon of when people throw keys at you, which I share as well, where you go like this, you put your hands out, you know? That's like what volleyball is like for me.
My face, like, ah!
Yeah, every time a ball comes near me, I do this face, like my lip curls down, I go, ha, ha. It's bad.
Yeah.
No coordination, Mandelker. That's what I am.
All right, so after the volleyball game, Kyle's like, oh, you want to have a talk? She's like, Kyle. So they walk over to the side, and he's like, we were struggling to be on the same page. That's why. And she's like, yeah, because like, here was what it is, Kyle. Because like the other day, you stayed until 4 a.m., and then you were pissed that I called you out on it, and then you got this whole attitude, and you started talking about all the things you're mad about because I was mad at you, and now you're just being bullshit, taking it out on me, Kyle. That's what happened.
That's not how I would sum it up. I mean, like what I said, like I'm very fixated on trying to improve our communication.
That's such bullshit, Kyle, because like you just say things, Kyle.
I love the guy concerned about improving communication is like slurring every time he speaks. Well, I just want to be able
That's the thing. And by the way, Kyle, we make less annoying somehow. I think just because Amanda has the whole like,
because she has
that whole thing going on. So it sounds like we're Team Kyle. I would just like to say very clearly that is absolutely not the case. And Kyle's even worse in a way because at least, and I say this about Lindsay all the time too. At least Lindsay's out loud about it, there's no hiding it, especially now. I think Amanda has had years where it's been a little bit more passive aggressive, but now she's just straight up aggressively passive aggressive. And it's better than Kyle because Kyle's doing the whole like, Amanda's coming from a I hate you place, which I can respect. Whereas Kyle's coming from a you really hurt me, and I just don't know why you hurt me. He's kind of doing the Carl thing where he's just like, I just don't get why you're so mad at me. But then he's still coming at 4 a.m., partying all night, and being wasted literally every day at a moment.
Knowing that it pisses her off.
Yes.
Knowing that it pisses her off, and then he's like, why are you mad at me, Amanda?
Doing
to that I say
over and over to piss her off. It's like aggressive and gross, and then acting like a fucking victim when he's called out on it. It's gross.
This is ultimately why I don't think that their relationship should go on, because he does not tend to her needs, which is that she needs to feel safe and secure. She needs him to be home earlier, not like physically safe, but like she expresses later on, she has PTSD from the cheating, and he's doing nothing to reassure her that like everything is fine. Like he's not earned that ability to go out late again. And like he sort of like spurns what she feels. But at the same time, she is with someone who like, that's like, he loves to go out. And then she expects him to have changed for her. So like, he does not treat her with enough respect. She has unrealistic expectations of like the person that she's married, and that just will not work. Those are things that like someone's going to have to change something that they like inherently do not want to change. It's not fair to either one of them to actually ask them to really truly make that change. And therefore it's time to not only to forget about being on the same page. It's just time to close the book.
Yeah. You should not only not want to change somebody, you should not only not try to change somebody, you shouldn't want to change somebody. You shouldn't marry somebody that needs that many changes. Okay. Just like you don't want, unless you're an editor, and he will not be edited, this guy. And they both
don't
have
buy
the
a car without doors. You want the product to be finished. Okay. So you can't expect modifications.
Yeah. And I get you have to like modify your behavior for each other to a degree, but this is just like, oh my God, suddenly you don't want to move to the burbs and stop partying? No, he's a fucking drunk with an alcohol company. What do you think? You married a drunk, dude.
It's okay to make sacrifices for your partner. It's okay to make concessions. And I think that like when people are in relationships, there is like a certain amount of like changing, but usually just because you want to, because it makes your partner happy, and like seeing them happy, like it makes like it's like a non-issue, right? But there are certain things that like you are just who you are, and like this is clearly a thing where Kyle is not willing to change, and he, it's a shame because like that's fucked up on his part, because it seems like these are things that really should be able to change, and like just do some simple things to make your wife happy. But at this point,
he would rather do this whole like, but I'm just trying to have a heart to heart with you, and she's like, but you keep doing the same things over and over, so stop with the bullshit. And he's like, I can't move to the suburbs if we're like this. You don't want to move to the suburbs. Stop being an asshole to make her fight with you, so then you have an excuse not to move to the suburbs. And
you shouldn't have told her in the first place that you wanted to go to the suburbs.
But did he? Was he really like, Amanda, you know what I really want? To have a baby and move to the suburbs. Or was he like, well, maybe one day, like kind of putting it off, and she just kept saying it until he was... See, that's the thing with this couple. I don't even think they even know what each other wants, because they just keep changing shit. It's like, if you want to be with me, you're going to change this. So he's like, okay, look, I changed this. I haven't cheated on you for 6 months, so I want a fucking gold medal for it,
Yeah. So she's like, there's always another meetup. There's always something else to do. There's always another drink to be had. There's always another bar that's open. There's always another apartment to go to. You always end up coming at 3 a.m. on weeknights. And he's like, well, I'm a very social person, and it's lonely as fuck being married to you because you don't talk to me. So you can see that they are clearly in like this vicious cycle because she gets mad, she doesn't want to talk, she doesn't want to do anything with him, and then like his need to do be active and do social things with her is like not being satisfied. So now he wants to go find it somewhere else. That makes her mad. I mean, they're a disaster.
They're a disaster. So now Kyle comes back and he grabs some food and Paige goes, "Careful, it's hot." And he eats it and burns his mouth. And she's like, "Yeah, that's, well, things with penises still haven't changed in the past 10 minutes." Sounds good to know. That's consistency.
By the way, I just want to point out that the last argument with Kyle and Amanda ends with him saying, "You don't talk to me." And she goes, "Okay." And then she walks away. Like, well, Amanda, you didn't really help push back on that idea of not talking to him by walking away. So yeah, then Kyle burns his mouth on this boiling hot cheese. And then Sierra, now everyone just goes into bed and they're like hanging out and stuff. Sierra's FaceTiming Wes and they're like talking and he's talking about his nose. And they just cut randomly to Danielle in the hot tub alone, which is sort of Danielle's lot in life. Like, who wants to come and club send it by the hot tub, anyone? No one?
Club send it, sending it, sending it.
The Send It Lab is open for swimming.
So a producer asks Sierra if she's surprised she's missing West. And she's like, "Yeah, because I don't have chemistry with just anyone. I don't get along with just anyone." I mean, sorry to say Austin again.
Austin is.
I'm sorry. That's just such a low bar. And I know that sucks for you and you're still having to live with the consequences of that. But just don't say things like this. Like, "Oh, it's really difficult for me to like you." I mean, come on, Austin. Just don't say it, you know? So then, but, you know, again, it is so nice to see her happy with a nice person. West better be nice.
I know. I really love him. So Kyle goes rummaging for a propane tank and he's like, "Oh, there's a propane shortage." Amanda's like, "Kyle's full of shit. I'm gonna fucking murder him." I'm like, wow. She's just at a point where he can say nothing without just being furious. She is so pissed at him that like even when he announces that the propane is out.
I'm not here for propane jokes, Kyle. Remember that time you told a propane joke, Kyle? How are we supposed to raise children together?
We're supposed to raise children in the suburbs and you can't even find the propane, Kyle.
So now it's
propane in the butt.
Night and Sierra's in her pajamas and some people are going out and some people are not going out. So they're going to a place called Calissa.
Yeah, Calissa is a place. It's like a club they go to or a restaurant. So Kyle sits down in a wet chair.
That is such a girl raised in the Hamptons, isn't it? Calissa. Hey, I'm opening a club. It's named Calissa. They're like, of course Calissa has a club named Calissa.
All right, everyone, gather around. I have a pressing question. Okay, see the way Kyle's sitting with his legs crossed? Okay, when guys sit like this, is it an immediate ick, or do you prefer them to sit like this? And she like opens his legs in a different way. Okay, what kind of ick is Kyle right now? Okay, Danielle, you start.
Here are your options: gross or really gross.
And at home, Andrea's asking Sierra about how her relationship is going. And Amanda's just like chugging ranch in the fridge from the bottle, just chugging it straight down.
And so Sierra's really relaxed with West. And Lindsay says, like when he says something, do you even take him serious? Because he's a flirty guy. And Amanda's like, I mean, I think he just acts different with other people. They're talking about Jesse now, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think they're
they were just having that.
So Paige is like, well, I was thinking that today is the best we've ever gotten along as a group. And like, I also feel, Danielle, like you and Lindsay have been moving forward in a really good way. So how's that going for you? And Danielle's like,
yeah, I feel like it's like we're even more on the same page than ever before. Like sometimes she even like comes to my room and like we get ready together. I mean, she still thinks my name is Francis, but we're getting there.
Danielle, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear any of that. Can we turn down the hot tub here in Carissa, so that I can hear Danielle? It's crazy. Danielle, why are you sitting alone in a hot tub in a club?
Not actually in a hot tub. It's just a wet chair.
Sending it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a good summer, but I want to feel like I'm on the same page as Amanda. Can you please stop saying about being on the same page as Amanda? It's like Paige is like, okay, well, I know what you should do. Stop being such a fucking dick. I'm not a dick.
And then it gets like where he's just despondent. Like everyone's so mean to me. It's like I just don't want to be there scratching my head, wondering if you even like me or like if you're bothered by my presence. So that's often how. You know what's going to help this, Kyle? Going out to a club and getting more shit faced. That's exactly what she wants to see from you, Kyle. You're really going to help situations.
It's like not even the digs, but like last weekend I was the last one up and her phone was on the sink, so I just opened it up and I was in a single photo of me.
Yeah, there's no photos of you because you've got a mullet. And that's another thing. You can't walk around with that mullet and expect anybody to take you seriously. You deserve what you get, as far as I'm concerned. Get rid of that hair.
Paige is like, oh, so that hurt your feelings? Okay, let me just write a memo for when I have to get revenge on Craig. Okay, this is what I'll say. Hey, chicken, can you go find that photo of the two of us in my phone? And then he can't find it because there's no photos of him in it. And then he'll cry. It'll be hilarious. Oh, sorry, Kyle. What were you talking about?
Craig, chicken, could you please hand me my unlocked phone while I'm here in the bathroom?
Hey, chicken, why don't we do an AI baby with you and me? Okay, go find the photo that I have of you in my phone.
Kyle, she loves you, though. Don't you know that? You've got to know that. You know what her love language is? Saying, Kyle. He's like, and he starts crying. And she's like, oh, God. Well, Kyle, we don't have to figure this out tonight, but I do see you. And it's super sad. Gross.
It's horrifying.
So it
Actually,
turns out
too much
that
of you.
between you being cross-legged or straight-legged, the ickiest is you just crying. Please stop it. I'd rather you just sit cross-legged. Please.
Yeah. The ickiest is just you even being in my presence to see you sitting anywhere.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Welding instructor Alex DeClaire knows VR training platforms like Forge FX help students master their skills.
There's a big learning curve with welding. Virtual reality simulates that exact muscle memory that they need.
Learn more at meta.com/metaverseimpact.
So back at the house.
Is a really old baby in a mullet crying with a beer in his hand that says Loverboy on the front.
Here, I'll take a photo to send to Amanda so she can throw it out right away before saving it on her phone. So now they're playing Truth or Dare.
What are those that you can send a disappearing text?
She documents you on Snapchat. It's alive. It's still a platform.
Stupid.
So they're just playing Truth or Dare, just sort of casually at home. And Andrea's like, all right. How would you rank your sex life with Lexi or your partner, 1 to 10? And Lindsay's like, 2.5. Like, you had to have sex. I mean, we had sex today. So, but like, it was like the first time in a couple of weeks. But like, no one came. But like, whatever. And man, it's like, no one came, Kyle. And they're all like shocked. Like, what? No one came? Like, the neighbor comes over. It's like, no one came?
Jordan calls. She's like, hey, I just heard that no one came. That's insane. What is it, like opposites day from my weekend? Like, literally everywhere I've gone, people have just been coming all over me. It's nuts.
Ina Garten knocks on the door. Hi, I was next door and I heard that no one came. I mean, you can't even come. I mean, how easy is that?
So, Lindsay's like, I've always been patient with Carl. Always. That's me, Mrs. Patient. I mean, I just love this man so much, and I know he wants to make me happy, but, like, if he's not ambitious and not matching my vibe. Okay, this is another example of you can't marry a Carl and then expect him to suddenly become ambitious. He's a Carl. He's Carl. He won't even get new white pants. They're the same white pants. He's had the same pants for 8 years, lady.
Yeah. She's like, having to constantly light a fire for someone else is like not sexy. Like, doesn't get my juices flowing. Yeah, this is not a match either. So she's saying that he basically like gets into his head about like having a good performance sexually. And she's just like, I think we need to have like more sex. So it's like, doesn't put so much pressure on you. It's just like a thing that we do, so whatever. So then Carl and Dan and Paige come back, but Kyle and Jesse are still at the bar. So now this is like, Kyle, like, what? You literally just had a conversation today. You see how upset your wife is. Like, don't you want to like make your wife happy? Don't you want to make her feel at ease? Make her feel like you care about her, that you listen about her, that when she expresses that this makes her uncomfortable, that it triggers things, that you want to like say, listen, I want to make you feel safe. I want to make you feel loved because I'm your husband.
No,
not only do you go out, you are in the late crew of the going out people.
No, he doesn't. But also, there's not really a ton of motivation.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I can't be team either of these. I mean, I think all the points are valid. I'm just like, I want to leave them both. I'm just at that place where I'm like, I'm divorcing both of you. Okay. And I was smart enough not to even get into this relationship. And I still want to fucking divorce both of you. You both suck. So now Jesse and Kyle stumble in. Oh, Jesse comes home with some girl named Camille. So Sierra and Paige are texting back and forth. And they're like, oh my God, what's going on out there? And they're like, Jesse's in the hot tub. She goes, oh my God, Jesse is in the hot tub? Let's watch Jesse in the hot tub. Oh my God.
I'm going downstairs. I'm going downstairs. I'm going to watch from your room, Paige. Oh my God. It's scary. I'm going to sleep in your bed now. And then Kyle's just like sitting around dancing with himself, perhaps eating more cherries and listening to more Hans Zimmer. And then Jesse and Camille are kissing, and then he put the towel over the camera because they're going to have sex and stuff.
Yeah, and then Kyle comes back in the room. And he doesn't only come back in the room, he comes back and goes, Amanda! Stupid.
Don't wake her up.
And she's like, what? So he's doing it on purpose, He's like addicted to this feedback loop. He just wants some attention. So he's just pissing her off because I think she'll talk to him. I think the rest of the time she just doesn't even speak to him. As we see later in the episode, she just stares at her phone and pretends he's not there. So I think this is maybe his way of just getting something, So she's like, what time is it? It's 3:55. She's like, yeah, fuck off. I'm so over you, Kyle. Like, I can't believe you would put up a fight with me and then come home at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
So he does that like, dog that knows he did something bad. Look, he hangs his head low and gets into bed. So now it's the morning, and he's like, Amanda, I charge your phone a little bit. She's like, okay. Like he's trying to make a nice gesture, and she's like, that's gonna fix this? No. Carl's like, hey, morning, sleep babe. What's going on, sleep babe? Love your butt. You got a great butt lens. God, I'm so deeply attracted to you.
So now it's time to go home, and Andrea makes coffee for the girls as usual. And he's like, oh, it's new. It's called brew with vanilla. And Paige is like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with ya. And so now people are getting ready to leave, and Kyle and Amanda just hating each other. And Kyle goes, you driving? She goes,
no.
Oh, yeah, I was joking. So how are we doing there? And she's just staring at her phone on the couch, hating him. Like, she's staring at her phone, but she's also like giving the eyes that are like, just die, Kyle.
Next, he's going to say something about propane again. So now it's time to go down to New York City. So it's Tuesday, and West is in a park, and he goes and he sits with his great aunt, Robin, who moved to New York City in the 70s and became like the poster child in his family of saying, fuck it, I'm moving to New York City. So he's talking about how when he was a kid, they would visit her, and he would like hear the cars, horns honking and people talking shit and all this noise. And it's like, wow, this is wild. So, yeah, it's exciting.
I'm in. So he got an interview at Complex, which I believe is where he works now. The internet is the truth. And she's like, yeah, when you came to me, you had nothing on your resume. All you did your whole life is play football, you fucking loser. And now look at your hair. I mean, geez. The city gives us a lot of things. And unfortunately, one of the bad things it gives us is hairstyles like that. What, are you trying to be 15 years old? You're old, okay? Lighten up on the pancake toots.
I think you being laid off gave you a huge reality check. I think you came out of high school as the big man on campus, and then college, you had the same view as in hashtag didn't evolve. And New York didn't treat you that way, huh? Because guess what? You're a big PUSSY, aren't you, great nephew?
So now they start talking about Sierra, and we cut to Sierra, and she's going to her manager's place, and she's like, oh my God, we're doing so well. He says, yeah, our goal for you is to elevate everything. We're going to shoot Sports Illustrated, Fashion Week in Paris, landing on the moon. And this folder right here contains a contract that is going to launch you, ma'am.
You're going to go farther than the Hamlin girls. She's like, wow, I've dreamt this dream so many times when I was younger. And she's just like excited. And he's like, and by the way, you have to understand the magnitude of this. You won't have the freedom that you once had. Okay. You're going to be traveling and you'll be important. You'll be a model. She's like, yeah, cool. So then we go back to Robin and she's like, so is there a part of you that sees a future with Sierra? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I like where it's going. It's almost like, do I need to jump into it? I always look out for things not to date someone instead of dating them and trying to make it work.
Yeah, you know why? Because you're just a puss. You're a puss who's afraid of hurt, okay? And let me tell you this much. I know why. You haven't been able to commit to anybody because that girl in high school who's really hot and the best thing you're ever going to have a chance at in your life, she dumped you and she called you stupid. Remember, she hated your hair? Now look at you. Still wearing 15-year-old boy hair and just afraid to get dumped by hot girls. Well, I got news for you. They're all going to dump you. And circle of life is probably because of that hair.
What was her name again? Taylor Swift. Oh. Never heard of her. Imagine. So the producer's like, so Wes, when was your last relationship? And he's basically like, define relationship. I mean, on paper it was when I was 20. I mean, I'm not someone to hop into a relationship very quickly at all. Okay, I'm okay with taking things slow, which to me was a red flag because the taking things slow thing is the classic line from, the fuckboy Bible.
Oh, yeah. So Robin is like, don't you want a partner for the rest of your life? And he's like, I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, either you get what does he say? Something like, either you get married and once that happens is you get married or you have a sad breakup. And I don't know that I want to get married or have a sad breakup yet. She's like, well, tough titties, kid.
I know. I love her. So then we go over to Kyle and Amanda's place, and they're sitting with dogs. And Taryn, a relationship coach, comes over. God, again,
luck.
Why are people afraid of hiring real therapists on these shows? Does Bravo just not have the budget for that? So Kyle's like, yeah, I just, I don't want to feel like we're not processing, and like, I don't know how to tiptoe around some of these challenges. And Taryn's like, okay, well, today, we're just going to get into how you guys have been doing recently. So why don't you tell me why you guys hate each other?
Well, I want her to, we need to communicate better. She started working creative, with her job, but then she, did creative for my job. And, I was so excited when she came to work for me. But, ever since then, I'll bring up the things she's not doing because, I just want more. It's like, yeah, there's, more and more. And it's like, Amanda, you're not doing this. Amanda, you're not doing that. Amanda, you're not doing this. It's, never enough.
Taryn goes, wow, it sounds like it's touching on an insecurity, not feeling good enough. Wow, thanks, Taryn. Thanks for that wonderful insight. Someone saying, I feel like I'm not good enough, and being able to deduce that that's an insecurity. Just brilliant work here.
Especially when Kyle just said, and the problem is she's not good enough. I just want more. It's like, yeah, he says I'm not good enough. So I think the fear is you're not good enough.
I'm always questioning myself and being indecisive and never feeling like I'm making the right decision and I'm good enough, and just realizing that I don't get that from you sometimes. It's just like I'm being full circle. And then Taryn says,
too.
Darren goes, well, I think what you're talking about right now is a big insecurity for you. Thanks again. Really getting to the root of it here, Taryn.
Is Taryn just practicing is this when you go to a college dental class to get your teeth done for cheaper?
So.
What is going on here?
I think she's just on break from Jamba Juice right now. She's like, I just put on a blazer and I told these people I was a relationship coach and it worked.
Yeah, and she's like, but I could just question things. And Taryn's like, here's what I think. You might be questioning things. Yes, Taryn. Yeah. And so Taryn's like, well, Kyle might have an insecurity. Or Kyle might be an insecurity that's happening for you because, Kyle, you feel like Amanda's talking to you in a particular way that's very short. Yeah, she says she hates me. And I feel like you might feel like she hates you. Yeah, I think she wants me to die. She tells me she wants me to die. So I think you're worried that she might not have your best interests at heart. Yeah, you're really good at this.
I just think I'm more sensitive than people realize. So, like, when I pick up on her just being unpleasant, sometimes I feel like you don't like me. And, like, I feel like I do it a lot. And I feel like I'm just trying to really work on some of my flaws. So, you're working on your flaws. I think what you're trying to do is work on your flaws right now. Yeah, exactly. Wow, you're, like, great at this.
So now it comes to the real truth, which is Kyle had an unfaithful moment that continues to haunt you. Just won't forgive me for cheating that one time. And so to make her feel more secure, you still just go out, stay out getting wasted, which is kind of what led to you cheating the last time. So she's like, there's just no reason to be out with people at 4 a.m., stumbling home wasted. And she's like, it's not that he cheated so long ago. And people talk about that all the time, that I'm so caught up from cheating. It's the PTSD from that instant. And it's just easier to sum it up by saying he cheated on me than to tell you a sob story of everything I've been through since. Like, he still has the attitude of someone who cheated on me, even if he didn't cheat on me. It's like he's still constantly doing the shit that's like cheating on me,
right?
I guess is what she's saying.
Yeah, she's saying, like, it's not like, oh, I can't get over the cheating. It's just that it's more like, there are a lot of triggers that come from that, and he keeps on stepping on them, and that's what's so annoying. It's just easier to say that that's the situation. So Taryn's like, well, I think that'll be important in the future, is like bringing up that self-reflective energy. Like, you're not going to be able to resolve years of conflict in one night when you're talking about one thing. So stay with the moment instead of calling back those other things. And if you have the instinct to do that, try to pause. Also, just going forward, I want to give a tip. Know your order before you step up to the stand at Chipotle. It just makes our job a lot easier. And speaking of which, my shift is starting again.
Now, look, guys, I know that sometimes it might be hard to say extra guac because you know the price. But let me just assure you that it's worth it and you deserve it. Thanks for coming.
The asada chicken's back, and I really think that this is a time when you guys should. It's a limited time only. Just really try to take advantage of it while you can.
The vegan option literally tastes like meat in a good way.
I mean, sometimes when I'm at work, I think, why is there an option for a salad or a bowl? Because aren't they kind of the same thing? But sometimes in life, you just have to think, like, sometimes things look like the same thing, but they're not. So just think about that. Okay, see you guys down there.
Enjoy your salad bowls. Okay, I left them both on the table. So then Lindsay goes to try on her wedding dress for all her girlfriends. And all the girlfriends are the fakest ass things. Like, I mean, it's really, she walks in there and she's like, hi. And they're like, oh, Lindsay, girl, weddings.
Yes, Lindsay. And she's like, oh my God, like, who do I go to first? Hi. And then Gabby shows up and Danielle shows up. This is such a hilarious scene because this is such a mean scene by Bravo, because they're just, the entire point of the scene is that everyone knows who's watching that this wedding is not going to happen. And they just lean into Lindsay just feeling her fairy tale. So she's like, I searched high and low for dresses, and I actually have this dress picked out for like the past few months now, and like putting it on just like feels so special. Like, I'm good. Like, I made the right decision. This is definitely going to be a wedding dress that I'll wear at a wedding.
Don't you think she kind of knows at this point? I think at this point she knows, and she's just really, because she's brought up Scandival so many times this season that I really think she's laying down the foundation to get Ariana type Glad bag commercials or whatever, because she just turns to the can. She tries on the dress and she's like, oh my God, girls, it's the fairy tale ending I really gave up on 2 years ago. I am basically Cinderella. What could go wrong? And then she tells us, it's almost like imposter syndrome, where I'm like, I don't deserve this. And I just never thought I'd be so blessed to fall in love with my best friend. It's just laying on so thick, and they've been doing nothing but having problems this whole season. That girl, in her mind, she's carrying a bag of trash in a Glad bag, and she's just shaved her legs with a Bic razor.
I think that she knows there's problems, But she also is probably in denial and saying, well, these are just the problems you have and because of wedding planning, and we just have to make it to the finish line and everything will be great. Once the stress of the wedding is done, we'll be fine. And, she's really just trying to sell it here. She's like, oh my God, it's real. We're here. We're doing it. We're really doing it. It's going to happen. You're like, oh, no. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I can't imagine what's going to happen. But I think we get a later this season on Summer House thing, don't we? So that means
we get a really good mid-season trailer. So it looks like it's going to be wild.
Looks like we're about halfway done with this sucker. So we'll see what happens.
Thanks, everyone, for being here. We'll be back on Monday with fresh recaps of all your favorite shows. So have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Michael.
More live.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.